as I briefly explained, today we will talk about networking with Idetons. Hopefully she will be able to join us again. Yes, here she is. Otherwise, it's been a long hour just talking myself about all of it.
So I also put my LinkedIn there. So welcome to connect. Okay, and just checking if you can see my slides. Oh, they are not moving. That's not good. Now you can see, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So that's shortly, thank you already for presentation, but that's shortly, or I will just shortly say what I have done so far and what I'm still doing. And below the line, below the arrow are the brands I have been working with in different countries. And right now I wrote a book about networking, it's in Finnish. Then I train networking, even the technical part of that, how to approach people when you are in different seminars, how do I speak to people I don't know before, all these kind of practical techniques. But I'm also a member of the supervisory board in LähiTapiola. If you live in Finland, you must probably know LähiTapiola is one of the biggest insurance companies. And I have to be, I'm there not because I'm very smart and very beautiful, but it's because I have good networks. I also member of the board, and I used to be a chairwoman for Metropolitan Area Women Entrepreneurs Association. I'm also right now starting from January, I'm working for Estonian government. I'm export advisor for Finland, so which means that we are helping Estonian companies to find or to come to the Finnish market, and we also help Finnish companies to find, for example, sourcing partners in Estonia, plus all kind of government or embassy related meetings and events. So that's what I'm doing right now. But to know more about you, I would like to ask you to write me into the chat. Are you consider yourself as a good networker? So let's see where we are. Just write if you feel you are good, if you feel no, or you're not sure.
A lot of no, not really, not sure.
I'm really surprised, actually. I'm surprised because usually when I ask this question from international people, then the percentage of yes is much higher than when I speak for Finnish people. So I'm kind of surprised now. But okay, don't worry, because you're not the only one here in Finland. So don't worry, I will show you a little bit more information about it. Okay, but now thank you for all these answers, but I now ask you to think about the people or maybe person who shared some ideas, some maybe information valuable or goodwill, skills, or maybe helped you forward in your career. And you don't have to write down the names, but just think, do you have anybody? Somebody who shared the valuable ideas, maybe, who shared information, goodwill, skills. I think you have. I haven't met anybody yet who would say that, no, I haven't met a person who shared some information with me or who helped me or who gave me some ideas. So this is basically social capital, what people are sharing with each other. And during their life, during their life, we meet so many people, and I have been searching how many people approximately we meet during our lives. And there are different researches, and but it's approximately 20 to 50,000 people. And the other thing, I tried to find how much is 20,000 people. And in this picture, there is approximately 20,000 people in this stadium. So now imagine yourself that you have to meet every single person in this stadium to shake hands and say, hello, my name is. So isn't it quite scary? At least if I would be told when I'm like 5 or 6 years old, showed me the big stadium and you need to talk with all of these people, I would be scared. But let's see. We think that yeah, there was a question in the beginning. Does it exist? Does networking exist? Is it important? There was research some years ago where I think 10,000 executives participated, and 74% of these high-level executives actually said that nowadays they are dealing more with more outside networks and stakeholders than ever before. It used to be that if you are the director of your company, you are dealing with your staff in your organization. Right now, it doesn't matter in which position you are, but most probably you are dealing with many different kind of stakeholders outside of your company. You need to find those. It's not that you just deal with them, but you need to find those stakeholders and maybe networks or some bubbles maybe. So that means that you need networking skills. And in a same research, 70% of these same people who said that they are dealing with more than ever different networks, they also admitted that they don't actually have the experience and social skills to do that. So think about executives all around the world admit that they don't know how to do it. And okay, there might be a question that, do we need it? I had a very good meeting once, and there was presented Hofstede Insight, which is a company who's dealing with cultural differences and also organizational culture. And they have made the research. And in this Hofstede Insight, look where we are in Finland. So Denmark, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Finland, we are a cluster of networks. What does that mean? That means that even the hierarchy is not that important.
Aivan monta lapset nyt ilmoitettu, että ei ole tulossa sitten.
I think we have someone else also presenting now. So we are in a cluster of network, and that means that we need to know how to get these networks, how to be in a right network, because otherwise we cannot make business deals, we cannot find job, and our life is not that good as we can expect. Okay, Sitra, the government company who's also dealing with they are trying to find out the future megatrends and how the future works for Finland. They found out many things which are in their opinion megatrends, but one was the tension side. And in the future, we can see in Finland more tension between different networks versus bubbles. And that means that many people think that they are building their networks or they belong to some networks, but in the reality, they belong to some bubble. And that is very dangerous in a way, because yes, it's very nice to be together with the like-minded people, but if this bubble is very closed and it doesn't help you forward with your business or with your career, that's not enough to be successful. Okay, I like that picture a lot. This is the picture. It's an art project in Finland. That's a Silent Citizens is named. And let's see how the things are in Finland here. 10% out of all job seekers found their job through public services. Public services, I mean TE-toimisto, for example. 23% they found through open recruitment. That open recruitment nowadays is either it's in newspaper or maybe some Oikotie työpaikat or some other, maybe LinkedIn. That's an open recruitment. All the others admitted that they used some kind of relations to find this new job or to get promoted. So that I think quite the same as this Hofstede Insight slide was couple of slides back. That proves that yes, we are in a kind of bubble of networks here in Finland. So we cannot really say that networking isn't important. And here is the official result from Finland. 6%. 6% say that they are good in networking, or let's say that networking is their strength. Only 6%. That's quite confusing. If it's a cluster of networking and suddenly only 6% know how to do it, then there is a little bit small conflict in this data, I would say. Maybe it's because Finns are quite like not so extrovert. They consider they are not. Maybe they don't value their skills that way, that high. I don't know. But only 6%. So which means that in a way it's a positive news, because when you go to any kind of networking event, you can see if there is 100 people there, then maybe only 6 people are really good. All the other ones are struggling. So you are not the only one, and that's okay. Now I'm thinking I'm 50 years old, and most probably I have already used this other 10,000 people in my life, but I most probably have still around 10,000 people to meet, either professionally, maybe just a short moment, or maybe I have to shake hands, maybe I have to make deals with these people. So I still have some people left, and that's approximately as much as you can see in this stadium. It's a little bit smaller stadium, but it's still awfully a lot of people. So now we have to think, how do we connect these people, and how to get these people to share their knowledge, their skills, their ideas, their collaboration with me, or maybe their goodwill with me. Because if they know me beforehand, or someone says a good word about me, it's much easier. Or if we have already something common, it's much more easier to approach these people, isn't it? Than if it's totally different. We don't have any language. I don't like him. I hope it's these people who are ready to share this social capital, or their social capital, with me. But in order to expect the other people to share it, I need to share with them. Okay, now many, not many, but yeah, some company leaders, they say that, okay, networking is kind of like a soft skill. I don't know, it's like a hoo-ha. We don't know if we have to learn it, or I don't know. We send our people, they will do the job, even though they don't. But okay, or we are in Finland, we don't need much networking here, or we are living in a small city, everybody knows everybody. So it's not like that anymore, because more than a half of all of the economic activity is today's international. So you cannot say that I'm living in my small village here. I don't have to know how to use my networking or social skills, or I don't need to share my social capital. Yes, you do, even though you live in a small country or small village, or in a small house. So when I started to study more like networking, and when I felt that this is something I need to talk with people, then I also worked out one method for organizations. And usually, let's be honest, it starts with the executives in this organization. First of all, let's be honest to yourself above boredness, that is it networking something you can consider your blind spot? Blind spot is something you are not aware of that you are lacking. Maybe you think everything is fine, but you never thought about it, that actually networking is something I need to do more, or I need to learn how to do it. So it starts from the leadership group, from organizations, to first of all knowledge that yes, this is what we need. Second is that you can fulfill your days. Okay, maybe not in Corona time, but otherwise, at least I'm living in Espoo, in capital area. I can fulfill my days with all kind of networking events. So if I don't identify the networks I need now and future, then I just spend my time, and it is quite exhausting to spend the time not knowing what I'm doing there. So you need to identify what kind of networks do you need after 6 months and maybe after a couple of years. It might be that the networks you have today will not carry you forward after 6 months. Or maybe something happens in your life, you have to change the company, or you have to build up your own company. It's the same. You have to identify the possible players in your life and start to look for these kind of people. And again, diversity. What I see, as I said, I was a chairman of women entrepreneurs in metropolitan area. And what I often see when people start their own company, they join the entrepreneurs organization and only entrepreneurs organizations. And then they are all there looking for clients, and their clients are not there. Their finances are not there. So yeah, okay, I like the word vertaistuki, the support group is maybe there. You can, if it's hard, you can tell to another entrepreneur that, oh, that's hard. Yes, maybe, but maybe this bubble is not enough for you. You need diversity in your diversity in your network, and you also need maybe someone outside of your industry even. Sometimes I'm quite like business-oriented person, and sometimes if I go to just have an opportunity to go to some art gallery, just to open my mind to different kind of thinking or different kind of doing, and that is something which can sometimes solve my problems, which I wouldn't solve within my own network. Maybe I wouldn't even think about it if I wouldn't see something which is totally different than my own world. So it's very good to keep your network very diverse. And by diverse, I mean also diverse by age, by nationality, by industry, in a very different ways diverse. And the fourth and not the least important thing is excitement. Because this is also have told you when you build up your own company, for example, in Finland, then they say, now you need to start networking. Wow, yes. Then you go, then you run half a year, you have the excitement to go in every kind of parties or seminars, and then you are empty because it didn't give you any result in your opinion, at least not the result you expected right now. So in this matter, many people said, oh, it's pointless to go out to some events because I went there, nothing happened. I didn't meet anybody interesting. In this moment, when you feel that you don't meet anybody interesting, then just stop for a minute. Take a break, get the excitement over the expectations. As soon as you have expectations to some, let's say, seminars, oh, I will meet this kind of people there because I need them tomorrow to that project. That's already too late. You're already late. And that will only increase your frustration towards the networking events. So just be open-minded. Go with the excitement, not with the expectations towards the people. So that will allow you to do it like normally and to do it in a way that you will not lose yourself and you will not be that frustrated after a couple of maybe months or weeks doing that. So actually, now many people ask that, okay, social capital, this is something soft. So we don't know, does it exist? Or can we measure it? If it exists, we can measure it, isn't it so? If something exists, we can measure. At least this is quite like a way of thinking here in Finland. So actually, yes, you can measure social capital. And there have been, even in Finland, social capital researches. And for example, in Finland, there was a research where people who belonged to different associations, they earned more money. They were in a higher positions. The people who have been during their lives approximately in a 6 or 7 different associations, or maybe Rotary Club, or maybe the Women Entrepreneurs, or International Women of Finland, or whatever networks, they earn more money, they are more successful, and that's a fact. That's a research result. So what I can say that social capital is something which can be turned or transferred into the hard currency. And when you are an entrepreneur, or nowadays when you start the company, also many people ask that, is it scalable? If it's something is not scalable, it's not worth of your time or money. And yes, social capital is something which is scalable. And that means that this is a perfect place to invest your time, because social capital is something which even you lose your job or you lose your company, nobody will take away your social capital. And if you sometimes wonder that somebody was kicked off from company because he didn't manage in this position, and suddenly he appears in a new high position, how come? This is exactly, he had a very good social capital. And even though he didn't manage in this position, it didn't mean that he lost all the respect or all the contacts. So he's again in a very nice position. Okay, let's go forward those way. I found my friend Google, when I put the metro charts, I found out these metro charts, and actually this black and white Helsinki, I don't know who did it, because this is definitely not the way the metro goes in Finland. But somehow I like them, because if you look at the metro charts in different cities, and then you look the metro chart in Finland, and for me that chart shows quite like a style of networking. This is the style of networking here in Finland so far. People are quite direct, forward, direct. If I need something, I will ask. But that is not somehow, it's not working like that. I asked from one very high politician that, so how do you network? Give me your tips. He said to me that, no, I'm not networking. I said, excuse me, you are a politician, how come you don't network? Yeah, if I need something, I go and talk. I said, what if they don't like you? What if they don't trust you? What if they don't like you and trust you, and that means they don't listen to you? Oh yeah, I haven't been thinking about. So it's not a one-way street that if you need somebody, then you go and you talk to these people, but it's much more complicated. And during the Corona times, especially when actually, yes, if we would meet in Turku with you physically, it would be much easier during the coffee time, or maybe to reflect, because right now when I'm talking to you, it's impossible to see your reaction, because I need to look at the camera. And this is the challenge of networking in online networking, because you cannot really look at the people's eye and see what's there. But that also gives us the other benefits, this kind of time we are living. You can, first of all, social media, social networks are really active right now. LinkedIn have been like developed a lot. And the way people acting in LinkedIn, the way they accepting the contacts is totally different than it was like maybe 5 years ago. So make new contacts, even if you cannot see these people, because first of all, our networks are shrinking. They are shrinking when we get older, and they are shrinking during these times now, during Corona times. Don't let it be in your case. So actively be active in social media, and also connect, make the first move. I had this session also with a spouse program in Helsinki, and spouse program leader Johan said to me that he actually had a very nice situation when he had been following some people in LinkedIn, like they are really high level or really professionally in the area he was looking. And suddenly he got an invitation from the same person. He thought that I maybe wouldn't, or maybe it's not a good idea to send the invitation. And suddenly this person sent the invitation to him. And then he just realized that, yes, it's possible that people are, okay, this person said honestly that I need followers. So that's one way to do. But that's okay also. I actually, I was reading about the LinkedIn, and I found out that in China, LinkedIn is the only Western social media they are using. And there are two key players, the CEO in LinkedIn and also the marketing CEO or marketing vice president or something like that. So I tried to think that, okay, shall I contact these people just for fun, just to find out how they think or how they see the things, just to follow up their doings. And I was thinking, I will not lose anything. I will send a small note. I always, when these level people who meet a lot of people, it's always good to add some kind of small note. And I wrote to them that, hey, I'm Anne from Finland. I found your profile. It would be very interesting to follow your success and your thoughts. And they both accepted. And through these people, I also found very interesting people in this area. So I think LinkedIn is right now one of the social medias which, like an adult candy shop, is so many people, so many interesting people, and so many interesting people are happy to let you into their network. But please also don't just send the request, but add some reasonable note there. And of course, as if you post consistently, then you can be visible. The other thing, if you go to LinkedIn, I turned 50 this year, and I forgot to turn out this birthday data from my LinkedIn, and I think I have there almost 9,000 people, and I'm not lying if I say that I got around 300-400 happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And that was exhausting because I feel the need to reply, even though someone have just pushed the automatization button. So every time you like to push any kind of automatization, take your finger off. Do not use these automatizations, even if it's like a new workplace. Oh, say congrats. Write something which shows that you didn't use this automatization, because that's a spamming. I honestly wasn't happy about this button people who pushed the button and said, oh, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, because I had to spend a lot of time to write them back, thank you. Of course, I could just ignore, but that's not style. So remember that every time you need something, you need to have this social capital ready. It's like a bank. You cannot go to the bank automat and take money out before you put the money in, or at least some credit in there. And this is exactly works like social capital. If you haven't put any attention, and now we don't talk about money, we talk about maybe you shared some good ideas, maybe you shared some article, maybe you wrote congratulations yourself, not with the automatization button. So people remember you have shared some goodwill with them, then they are ready to contact with you and to help you. So do it before you need it. Do it when networking, when you have an opportunity, not when you need it. And that's the only right way to do it. I can tell you one story of my life. A couple of years ago, we had a Helsinki day, and there was some people, my friend again asked me to join. I don't know how I was somehow used to that very nice evening with the champagne. So I met, he introduced me to one gentleman. He was also from Estonia. I was, oh, very interesting. And he was looking for contacts from insurance industry. Maybe I could help. Also, yeah, I can help you actually. I'm a member of supervisory board in one insurance company. So I helped him to find the right contacts and did some small intro. And that went really, really smooth. So I think it was a couple of weeks later when I had to organize one group into Tallinn and organize the group into parliament, to meet the parliament members. And I didn't know that this guy was responsible for Finnish group in Estonian parliament. So I was surprised that, oh, is this the same guy? So it was so easy to send the message to him and say that, hey, I'm so glad that you had this good meeting, but hey, I have a group of executives coming to Estonia. Can you take them there? Can you host them in Parliament? And he said, of course. And that is something what I'm trying to tell you, that when you have these connections ready, then it's very easy to be successful. When you have people from different groups, different industries, different ages. We were just discussing with my colleague today that she asked me that, especially in Estonia, where are all people over 50? Because all the leaders are like 30 years old. Where are all people over the 50 years old? And there is fact that younger managers don't hire older employees. So if your manager is 30 and you don't know him and he don't know you, most probably he will not hire you, but hire somebody who is in his age or younger. And that's the fact, nothing to do. So you better be known and you better be familiar with these people before you need that job. So, and what kind of networks you can build up? Roughly, you can build up three kind of networks: personal, operational, and strategical. This green one is personal. We women are really good in building up the personal networks, but we don't like to share them with different people. So if we have some trouble or we need some maybe place to work, we don't go to our very personal networks because we don't like to mix the networks. But that means that if we don't mix these operational, strategical, and personal networks, that means that we need double, triple time to build them up and keep them healthy. So that's why I kindly suggest you not to keep very big distance between your different networks. Operational network is something, let's say we have a common project or we work in the same company. So it's kind of like easy, and I think women and men are quite like equal in this area. But what comes to strategical networking, then I would kindly suggest women to put 50% or 100% more effort on that. And strategical networking is something which you don't know why you need this person. It's not in your company, it's not in your personal network. Why do you need these kind of people? Why do you need hang out with these kind of people? You don't know it yet, but these people can play a role in the future in your life. So you better be prepared that they know who you are. Implicit bias, it's actually one of the big reasons why I started to talk about network and teach network, because in the same company, insurance company, we had the management day, and it was, I think, 500 people all over the Finland came. And what happened? All people from Vaasa in the same one corner, all people in metropolitan area in a one corner. And then I was wondering why all these people came here. If they even don't talk with each other, if they don't mingle around and meet each other, they meet with the same people they already know. And that happens also when I go, for example, to some kind of cocktail event. Look, try, and you can write me afterwards when you try it in a real life, that if there is for example, one round table, empty round table, and if I'm a woman going alone to that round table, after a couple of minutes, all people around this same table are women. And that is so strange. But that happens. And there are not many very brave people who can come when there are already like 2 or 3 women. No men will come. So when you are going to any kind of networking events, try to go to these tables, so approach these people who are mixed ages, mixed sexes, not like we women talk with each other and you men talk with each other. So try to avoid this implicit bias. And as I said already, there are differences how we think and how we act. And I have been gathering some research results from different researches. And you can read from that slide, but there are some important things I would like to point out from that side is shifting. we need, our networks are shifting too during our lives. And that I also especially say to women, because we tend to keep up a long relationships. That the relationship is good when it's long lasting. In a professional life, we need to shift our networks accordingly with the life we are living. So that the same moms you met when your kids were small in a kindergarten, they will not be enough to carry your career future or to build up your company maybe. So in a different times, we need different networks, and that is okay that our networks are shifting. They are not always the same. When you work with different people, I mean, I'm sorry, I have been only covering now two sexes, or two genders. But when you work with women, you have to know that they think differently. And when you want to be promoted by men, then you need to also act differently. Because when there is opportunity to promote somebody in an organization, then usually when there is a women on top of the top level executives, they also take account, do they like you? If there are men, then they're mostly about, can you deliver? So when your boss is he, then you need to show or even tell that, hey, look, I can deliver. I can deliver. I don't know if you like me, but I can deliver. But if you work with women, then you have to make sure that they also like you. Okay, let's see if it goes forward. Yeah, strong relational stiffness. Usually women are, even we don't work in the same companies anymore, but we still have some wine sometimes together and that get-togethers like that. Men don't do that. Men are more instrumental. If we are working in this project, very nice, you can deliver fine. If we work with next project, then we have new networks there. So it's more like competence-based than women are more like trust-based. So you need to know when you work in different organizations, how to use networks, how to build up these networks among women and men. Okay, bridging and bonding. Let's make a small sorry, it's in Finnish, but let's make a small exercise, and you don't have to write into chat, but think about who have been influencing your career by giving you some very good advices, or who have been introduced you to some important people. If maybe someone made an intro that, hey, here is Ida, I would like to meet Ida because Ida is this and that, then maybe you can have something common. So think about if there are any people who have been introducing you some other people, or who have really had an impact in your career. Think about and try to write out at least one, or maybe it's easy for you, you will find like 5. So just write it down and in your mind maybe, and think about it. Just a couple of seconds. Okay, good. Second, now these 5 people, or however, I don't know how many you got there, but think about who have you been introducing to these people. And I truly hope that you will now have all, after every single name, you have somebody you have introduced to these people, because this is something which called bridging and bonding. When you find a new contact, for example, someone who's really interesting or important for you, or you don't know, you just like him or her, then think how you can bond with these people, but also who can you introduce to that person? But for example, when someone is coming to Finland and we talk with about some topics, and then next day I remember, okay, maybe Mikko would be really nice contact for her. So I will do the small intro, and as many as intros you can do, that is the fast track to build up your social capital. So think about not only contacting people, but also bridging and bonding these people together, because that is how then they know that, okay, it's okay also, and they duplicate the way you do, they duplicate the same thing, and they will start to introduce you to different people. And that is how it goes. And usually the very good networkers, this is exactly what they do. They do intros when they remember that, aha, there is some interesting contact that I could bring those people together. So try to do it as much as possible, and don't take any responsibility out of what will come, if that will go good or bad. It's not your responsibility, but just introduce people to each other. One thing, do I like you? Do I trust you? And do I buy from you? And these three things are automatically when we meet new people. When you met me first time, I think many of you, first of all, what is your first expression? Do I like her? And especially for women, if I don't like her, it's very difficult to trust her. It's not maybe that difficult for a man. If I don't like you, you are a total asshole, but you can deliver fine for you, so you can work for me. But first of all, if you don't trust person, if you don't like, then most probably you don't buy. And that is every time we meet somebody, we need to be easily approachable, that people can have a very good discussion with us, they can like us, and then they can find out that they can trust us. And only then they will buy. They will buy our ideas, they will buy our services, they will buy, I don't know, whatever you can provide them. So these three things, remember, every time you meet new people, try to make them like you first, and try to make them trust you before you ask them to buy anything from you, your time or whatever. So in these pictures, I have been with a couple of previous prime ministers and one previous president of Finland. And now I have a question, and you can write it into chat. Do you think these people remember me? Just if you look at this picture, do you think they remember me? Maybe no. Yeah, hopefully yes. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I wouldn't be so sure, because actually, yeah, okay, this previous Estonian prime minister I have been meeting like a couple of times, but most probably they don't remember us. And when you are approaching people who are in a high level positions, or they meet a lot of people, then be sure that they meet you at least 3 times. And in this matter, online is really good, because I meet a lot of people who say that, oh, I have seen your LinkedIn postings. Oh, yeah, I have seen your name in LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. So it helps you. It helps you to connect with people when you are positively active in social media too. It helps you to network when you see in live events these same people. So once is not enough. Even if your visit card or your business card is really beautiful, it doesn't help people to remember you. So make sure that they can see you a couple of times. And when you build up your business or your career, make sure that people higher than you or people you need in the future, then they can see you in the same places they go. So find out where they go and hang out in the same places. And when you introduce yourself, then there is like 3 things I would suggest you to always do. First of all, when you introduce your name and it's not in a screen like my name, then try to explain it somehow. And in my case, I usually say that Aide means in French, it means help. And I'm helping, for example, people to network. Oh, it's interesting. The same with a job you do, the same with a place you live. I can tell you, I have been in the same table or around the same table with Finnish entrepreneurs, and then they asked that, where are you coming from? I said, I live in Espoo. They asked, where is Espoo? So don't think that people know where is your place you are living. Some people don't know where is Finland, some people don't know where is Espoo, or some people don't know where is Eritrea or some other places. So try to explain it somehow and why to do it. This is now most important thing, why to do it. It's not about giving information. Every time you present yourself, it's not about giving information about you, but in networking situation, it's a situation when you help the other people to continue their conversation. If I'm only telling you, hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, I'm Idetans. It's very difficult to continue the conversation after that kind of introduction. And especially if you have a foreign name and I don't even, sorry, I don't want to look stupid, but what is your name? You don't want to, first of all, if you want people to like you, you don't want to make them feel stupid. So this is only to make them positively, to help them to continue the conversation with you. And when you explain either your job or what you are doing in a way that they can ask more. For example, if I say that I'm from Espoo and Espoo is a city where Nokia headquarters is. Oh, Nokia, I know I used to have the phone Nokia. How is it Nokia doing today? Blah, 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 blah. There are so many ways how you can continue. And when you help people to continue the conversation, they will definitely like you more. Okay, I shouldn't have this slide because I have been talking a lot today, but this is one thing, especially for older people. The more you live, the more you have nice stories to tell. But be very careful in networking events with your stories, because time of the stories is over, and actually people don't like to listen to your stories. They would like to tell their own. So don't be worried if you cannot speak a lot, or if you don't like speak a lot. Ask people to tell their stories, and then they like you, and then they trust you because you listen to their stories, not that you talk your own stories. So don't worry at all if you don't have any, or you don't like to talk the stories, or you don't like to talk at all with people. So it's fine. You just ask them questions. They will be happy to tell all the stories they have. And one last thing I would kindly suggest: in any position you are, it doesn't matter if you are the high executive or whatever you do, never delegate networking. And that is one thing. If you have an opportunity to meet people, if you have an opportunity to go some kind of seminar or event, go yourself. Don't give it the invitation to someone else, because for example, if you give it to a secretary or your assistant cannot build up your career. She cannot, or he cannot build up your social capital. You need to meet these people. You need to make an impact to their lives. Only then you can rely on these kind of relationships. So every time when it's possible to meet someone, do not delegate the opportunity. Go and do the job yourself. So this way, whatever happens in your life, either in a company or in your career, in your job, you will find the new opportunities, and fast. So thank you for your time, and maybe Lucia, you can help me a little bit to see. I can see the chat, but maybe you have found out some questions there, because there are many now. Comments.
Yes, we have actually one question from Tina that I would like to read to you. And you were talking about the bubble, and she was asking, what happens when certain people only share the social capital with the same and actively exclude others? Is there dangers for creating bubbles of exclusivity, which allows for nepotism to grow?
Usually, yeah. First of all, don't be worried, because why they do so, they don't trust the person outside. And this is usually the case. If you trust the person, then you let it in. That's basic. But the other thing, you don't need all the people. I think it's when you are young, you think that you have to belong to every circle. But no, you don't. Find the people who would like to be with you, who would like to socialize with you, who find you interesting, and there are enough people like that. So don't concentrate on the people who don't like to socialize with you. And that's very familiar for me too. I have been approaching people who are not interested of me, and I'm fine for that. Not everybody can like me or would like to talk with me, so it's fine. As you see, there were like 50,000 people waiting to meet with you, so don't worry.
Next, as we say.
More or less, yeah.
Thank you. And then there was another question. You were talking about LinkedIn and networking there, as one has been exploding during this pandemic time. And Sayed was asking, actually was saying that one of her challenges networking has been the ethics of it. She said, when you approach a person with the intention of making a contact for the future probably use, while pretending to be interested in being friends. So what do you think about this ethic of networking, especially in social media?
I don't feel that I actually, it might be surprising, but I'm quite introvert person. I have quite a small amount of friends that I can call friends, and I don't call any of my like social media people contacts friends nowadays. I think Facebook was using first this, that okay, be friend with that and that person, but nowadays we talk about contacts, we don't talk about friends. So it's a total difference, and it's okay. I think in LinkedIn also some years ago you had to have a reason, and many people, one reason to accept the contact request was we have met in a live. But nowadays when you do it after, especially after COVID times, now people know that no, you don't have to meet first live and then only go and send the request. Maybe I would just like to follow up your ideas, your postings, because maybe you are for example, I get this kind of invitation that, hey, I see that you have this and that kind of knowledge. I would like to be sure that I can see your postings. So can I be in your network? And actually LinkedIn right now I think it was 30,000 people can belong into your LinkedIn contact group. 30,000 people. I don't know. I have around, I think it was 8,900 people last time I was looking, but it's still 20,000 to go. So I'm not worried at all that if I let in people, sometimes I do the check if there is no any like message with a contact request, then I go and see if the person have not been posting anything, liking anything, commenting anything, then I don't accept this kind of, because also in LinkedIn there are fake profiles quite a lot already. So be sure that you check the person background, and if he haven't had any conversation with anybody or not doing anybody, most probably it's not a big loss not to accept this kind of contacts. But don't be a friend, don't accept that they would all like to be your friends.
Thank you.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Let's hope so, but if you need more explanation, please write them in the chat and I will happy to take it again. And we have another question, and she's asking, what if the person I'm trying to connect thinks that he doesn't have anything to get from me? Reasons like they are in a higher position, they know a lot more people, have more experience, etc. So the reverse, actually, you're not being accepted.
Actually, it's not a big loss if you are not accepted. It's not like you ask marry me and you say no. It's not that big thing. But the other thing is that I think the higher level people, they have quite a big ego. And if you touch their ego a little bit and you raise their ego a little bit with that, okay, you are such a professional and blah, 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 some very good words, they will accept. But again, please write the personal note. Because but I don't think it's a big issue if someone will not accept me. I cannot say that everybody will accept me, so fine with that. It's still 9,000 people already there, so I'm fine if you don't accept me. I don't take it very personally.
I think that Tina has a valid point that she wrote in the chat, because we know that Finland especially is such a small country, if you want to see in that way. And she's thinking that maybe in certain bubbles, the people hold the power. So, and they actively continue to exclude the others. And it's especially maybe related to international talents. So,
and this is something to do with the trust again. And actually, I kind of suggest, if you haven't read the book Rachel Botsman, Who Can I Trust? I think it's a really good book to read. Rachel Botsman, Who Can I Trust? I think was the English version. And there is a very simple way of how the trust works. And I'm also an international person here in Finland. And I came here with no contacts at all after working in an international company as a managing director. I found out myself in Finland with my 2 kids, with no networks at all. So I know how it feels. And today I'm belonging into the, let's say the same kind of bubble. For example, this international or insurance company, a supervisory board is kind of bubble too, but I'm included. So you have to work step by step to make you visible. I think Camilla Sultanova, the same way. She had been working consistently to make herself visible, to make people to trust her, and to ask her to talk with them and to ask them into different positions. So it's not easy, but it is possible. It is possible when they can see that they can trust you. But it takes time in Finland, yes, maybe a little bit more than in the other countries.
Yes, correct. Maybe the different parties, like we say in Italy, to put a feet in the door. So just to start to enter, and then once the feet, and they cannot close the door anymore, then the path it's easier, I would suggest.
And especially when you go, for example, in LinkedIn and online, I have also foreign name. I don't have a Finnish name, and that's fine for me. But that means that I have to think every time I send some request, either I have very many common contacts, which also increases the trust that they can accept me, or then I have to explain why I'm contacting. Because if there is someone who's really strange, and for Finnish people, strange name, strange, I don't know, skin color, strange something, they don't accept you like that. So you have to show that they can trust you. And I think it's not only Finnish people, I think it's everybody. I think if I would just send a request to CEO of LinkedIn China, he wouldn't accept me just like that. But as I explained why I'm doing that and who I am, I was a real person. I had my history, I had my post. He could see that, yes, I'm actually existing. So he accepted me, and that's fine. That's very good.
Thank you. I think we have covered all the questions from the chat, but and we have been exceeding our time today. But if there is last minute question, maybe Ida, do you have a few minutes to take another?
Yeah, I do. I see that knowing many people, but how to do networking properly is still difficult. When we are dealing with the relations and when we are dealing with people, it's not that something is actually very correct or something is not very correct, but I can tell you, as much as you share your social capital, this is the correct way to do. If you share your goodwill, if you share information, some experience maybe, then it is possible to build a strong network. Yes. Another thing, you may say that if many people know you or you know many people, if it's a good thing or bad thing. I would tell you that if I'm working in Finland and I'm posting today something into my LinkedIn, some post or article, I would never gain, let's say, 100,000 visibility with 20 contacts. But if it's like many contacts in my LinkedIn, in my online social network, my visibility is much better, and these people know my name before they meet me. So it's much easier to meet these people in a live events also. So I wouldn't go like quality over quantity. It doesn't mean you can have quality and also have a quantity. So And to do it correctly, correctly doing is doing it your way. Just find out how to do it in your way, what makes you happy and what makes you be excited.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Ida. I think there's a lot of thank you messages from you in the chat. Everybody is really pleased. So thanks again from International Working Women of Finland's behalf and from Empower Wednesday. It's been a pleasure.